Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Gracious good morning to you good people. It's your girl KB. You know what I do, and you know why I do it. It is Tuesday morning. It's June 3rd, and it's 3:23 in the a.m. I'm going to stay on the vein that I started off with this morning and talk a little bit more about pride. Let me just pull up my computer screen here. And I'm going to talk about the music of pride now. Normally, we hear house music and old school disco. I mean, no pride party or parade would be complete without hearing a little Sylvester, right? Sylvester and I want to say Donna Summer, Giorgio Moroder, um, Foxy, not Foxy Brown. There's a group called Foxy, two X's in the name. Little McFadden and Whitehead. We had some great music. That being said, you know, I'm grateful to have my satellite radio back. You know, at the beginning of the year, I had a car which I affectionately called the tuna can. I traded down from a Chevy Equinox to, I'm going to say this with my head bowed and the proper amount of shame. I traded down from a Chevy Equinox to a Toyota Yaris. Yes, I did say that. The Yaris had one windshield wiper blade. I called the Yaris the tuna can because it did not have satellite radio. It was very lightweight, and I traded that bad boy in with the quickness when I had a little extra cash, because it took one good rainstorm to tell me that I did not want to travel any distance in this vehicle, you know, under, I want to say, bad weather conditions. You know, if there were ever like a hurricane or a tornado warning and I had to drive some distance, I wouldn't have been able to go anywhere in that Toyota. So I had a bad experience at the Chevy dealership. You know, I shared that. There was an incident where I rolled up on a racist because I heard them say something. They didn't know I was in the showroom, and I heard a racist statement. And yes, I did roll into that man's office. Yeah, and I addressed it. Um, so, you know, I had driven a Chevy for most of my driving history until that moment. So now I drive a Jeep, a four-wheel drive vehicle, and I feel safe in this Jeep, except for the brakes are a little sticky, and every so often I give myself whiplash. I'm still getting used to the brakes. I don't know, it's my seat position or what, but yeah, every so often, yeah, it's a little, that part. Anywho, so I'm listening to this satellite radio station. It's called The Flow. And two songs came on back to back that gave me cause for pause. The first song was deep. It was like, I guess they would call themselves playing romantic music, but the chorus of the first song by a gentleman named Jacquees, Jacquees. I've heard the name, but I'm not familiar with the music. Okay. Now, it was one of those mumbling, repetitive love songs with a falsetto, that was heavily mixed. You ever notice that nowadays a lot of people can't sing? It's a studio production. I need to get a studio. Oh, wait. I have some equipment. Never mind. So, the lyrics of this particular love song, I'm pausing for effect because, yeah, the chorus lyrics. And this is the part that just kept being repeated. Rather be with you in all your BS. And he said the words for BS. This is a love song, folks. Rather be with you in all your BS. And see, me being me, the quintessential overthinker, it's like, why is it BS? Did you present some BS to get some BS? Which led me to another thought. Because again, I am the quintessential overthinker. About my entanglements. And yes, I did use that word, which I'm going to share in a moment. So the second song is by Usher, and I'm sure you've all heard this. You remind me of a girl that I once knew. See her face whenever I look at you. You won't believe all the things she put me through. This is why I just can't get with you. And you've heard me say the reoccurring theme for most of the videos that I watch that have to deal with the alphabet community and their relationships is that somebody has done somebody wrong, which reminds me of a country song. Hey, won't you play another somebody done somebody wrong song? And okay, so like I said, the song, or these two songs combined, reminded me of the situation where I share that this particular genre or this particular medium helped me to start filming my little snippets. I started filming during COVID, and I started filming from a seriously religious perspective. And I still do occasionally, but as I progressed through COVID up until now, there have been some things that have happened that require, I want to say, my focus. Things in life that require my focus. Now, first and foremost, I can't be a religious person and not talk about social justice. And unfortunately, too many people are not talking about it. Too many people are trying to call some things Christian that are so far from God that it makes me sick to even hear the word Christian sometimes. And that's real talk for me. And it's like, are you traditional Christian or are you Republican Christian? Because there's a vast difference. I don't remember Jesus having, a mega church. People gathered, sometimes in a tent, but majority of times outdoors. People just gather. Don't recall Jesus asking for a mule team or, travel arrangements for himself and the disciples. They walked everywhere. And I was like, I know you're comparing apples and oranges. When you have the requirement for somebody to hold up a donation or to lock the doors of the sanctuary till you get a certain amount of money, or request a jet because somebody else has a new jet, or you refuse to open your doors of a sanctuary during a hurricane or a flood because you don't want people in there. Yeah, you see, you get my drift? Okay, so that in and of itself makes me upset. When we talk about faith and faith practices and Christian, and you can't find love, and there's something wrong with your practice. And getting back to my thought, it's like, you remind me. Now, for a while, I've been holding on to this story and this pain, and I didn't share, and I'm still not going to share the particulars. And why, I don't know. I don't know why I'm covering. I'm just going to say love covers a multitude of sins, including my own. But I shared my stuff. I have anger issues, first and foremost. I grew up in a house with horrific domestic violence. Horrific. And during that time, during my formative years, I determined, in growing up in that chaos and that madness, that I'd rather take a beating than to have somebody disrespect me or play me for stupid on that level. And what did I do? I showed up. I gave my heart. And see, in all that experience, I'm still not going to let anybody or anything deter me from loving the way I know how. All right? So I gave my heart. Got gaslighted, got lied to, got blatantly disrespected. Blatantly. And this was, the blatant disrespect was during the time that my mother was dying. Then in that process, this particular individual justified their position by telling me that I said I was fine. Yes, I said I was fine with my mother transitioning because that's a natural progression. Yes, I was fine with my mother transitioning because I knew she knew the Lord. So on that part, I was fine. But that does not dismiss the fact that I lost my mother. Nobody gets over that. But this particular individual said I was fine. So that gave them permission to do what they did. That part. And then when I went off for that level of disrespect and them using that as a justification, then they decided they're going to be the victim. Because I said some things. I threatened to expose their madness. That's where I went with it. but God stepped in and stopped me from becoming them. And then, yeah. So, that was 3 years ago. Haven't talked to anybody. Haven't messed with anybody since. Because I'm a firm believer in taking time to heal. You don't take baggage into new situations. You don't put new wine in old wineskins. So to the folks who are on the internet, I want to share this with you. The reason that you're struggling is because you're not taking time to put the love that you want to give. You're not taking time to give that to you. Do that. Please do that. And when you do, you become attractive to others. Take that time to heal. And that's what I mean by healing. Surround yourself with good friends, that are going to help you in your Lazarus moment to remove the grave clothes from your previous situations. And I guarantee, if you look to God for as much as you look to the other things, He'll show up and show out. Amen.